Okay, so this is our second topic sa semifinals. We will be talking about the mindset of social entrepreneurs. So, ito napahapyawan ko na ito doon sa isa nating lecture, yung lecture 1, na kung saan bigyan natin ng emphasis na there is a difference between how social entrepreneurs think and business entrepreneurs think. Why? For social entrepreneurs, they focus on helping out the others, while business entrepreneurs only just focus on profitability, how they can get back their ROIs. Okay, so ayan. When it comes to the mindset between the two, social entrepreneurs daw ay takot mag-fail. Why? Maybe because they wanted to have a very big mission. They wanted to give a very significant impact to society. And they fear of failing because since it's so big, since napakalaki ng dream nila para sa society, or napagbabago, they are afraid to fail, lalo na if there is lack of funding. No? But they are very much driven or inspired to change the society. Whereas for the business entrepreneurs, they are positive and confident and they just focus on the return of investment. Okay? Spotting market gaps, we already discussed this one in lecture 1. So for business entrepreneurs, they just connect the gaps between the suppliers and customers. Social entrepreneurs, plug gaps between competing and conflicting groups. And holistic, it's kabuuan. It's a complete or combination of environmental, economic, and societal factors. Okay, now moving on to the evolution of business ethics, we have the traditional view. For the traditional view, they prioritize profit and shareholder value over else. Ang binavalue lang nila is the financial health of the company and the shareholders na involved in sa business. For the corporate social responsibility, it emerged as a response to social and environmental issues. So ito naman, meron na siyang pakialam sa society and environment. But for corporate responsibility, ito lang long-term, planetary health. Tingnan mo, planetary, meaning the Earth. We prioritize the sustainability of our dear planet. Okay? Now, the environmental challenge, it's the ecosystem decline. There is an alarming rate of decline in ecosystems due to human activity. Global warming, alam niyo na, because of the depletion of natural resources, wala nang mga puno, then butas lang ating ozone layer, and lahat apektado. And as you know, alam niyo naman, nababasa niyo naman siguro sa mga articles, na unti-unti lang natutunaw yung mga north and south poles natin, yung mga iceberg doon, yung mga yellow doon. And that is why nagiging rampant na rin yung flooding in some areas. And also, part of it would be the climate change. Recently, right, I think in UAE, I do not know where in particular in UAE, but or Saudi Arabia, I don't know, in the Middle Eastern country, recently ay nagkaroon ng baha. Kaya dati naman, hindi naman binabaha doon. Ang kadalasan na nag-aatake sa kanila ay mga sandstorm. So it's really a very big change. There is something wrong already with our environment. Okay? Next one is market incentives often favor wealthier individuals, exacerbating inequality. As we all know, diba, there is a very big gap or disparity between the poor and the rich. And kahit dito sa Philippines, Pilipinas na nga lang, diba? If you can, it was it was my first time to see the disparity between the poor and somehow medyo okay naman ang kabuhayan. Why? It was my first time to see a patient that was not admitted or that was not admitted in a private or a common room they are just admitted along the corridor of the hospital, of the regional hospital, kasi wala silang pambayad ng kwarto, no? Wala silang pambayad, nandun lang sila all day and all night, pero yung pasyente na nasa labas lang, nasa hallway lang ng ospital, and yung watcher niya ay nasa floor lang na nagbabantay. So you can see the difference, di ba? We are not saying that there is, ano dito, inequality. Yeah, there is a very big inequality nga kasi hindi nga nila afford. Pero sana is magkaroon pa sana ng programs na magkaroon somehow ng equity, hindi lang equality, equity, ba? Na kung saan kung kulang ng resources yung isa, dapat pupunan ng resources ng kung kulang ng resources yung isa, dapat mag-complement or may mag-supplement doon sa kanila. Parang ganun ba? So, very talamak yan na kitang-kita mo na ang wealthier individuals ay mas pinapanigan. Sa law pa nga lang, di ba, sa pagkamit ng hustisya. Kapag hindi naman mayaman yung mga involved, matagal bago maproseso or magkaroon matagal bago magkaroon ng hustisya. Ika nga. Pero kapag mayaman, minsan pa mga mayaman ay nakakapag, magbabayad lang sila para lumaya. Pero I forgot the term. But, siyempre, mayaman sila. So, parang kanilang magbayad. Diba? You can see the very big difference. Okay? Next one is ethical dilemmas for entrepreneurs. Action bias, entrepreneurs may act without considering ethical implications. Why? Because entrepreneurs would always want to win. Entrepreneurs would, as you can, that, characteristics of an entrepreneur, di ba? Risk taker, talagang resilient, talagang, grabe silang pagka-aggressive, kumbaga. Kasi, gusto nilang mabawi or kumita. Yun yung kanilang priority. But then, in some cases, kahit na nakakatapak na sila ng ibang tao, is wala na silang pakialam dahil ang importante ay kumita sila. That is action bias. Personal gain versus social responsibility, prioritizing financial gain over the well-being of others. Ayan na. O, for example, yung isang pabrika, kunwari lang, hypothetical, yung isang pabrika ay dahil gusto lang yung makatipid o nagpatayo siya malapit sa ilog, no? And ayaw na niyang gumastos sa proper waste disposal. Ang nangyari, nilagay lang niya sa ilog yung mga chemicals sa pagpaprocess o pagmamanufacture ng kanyang product. So, ang gusto lang niya ay financial gain. Wala na siyang pakialam sa mga tao na nakapaligid. Kahit ma-poison sila, kahit na mamatay yung mga isda, wala na siyang pakialam. That is one of the dark sides of being an entrepreneur. Minsan nagiging greedy o nagiging gahaman ng mga business people. Okay? And that is why it is really very important na maituro sa inyong mga students yung kahalagahan ng ethics or to be ethical in your decision making. Okay? Rule breaking and entrepreneurship, correlation between rule breaking and entrepreneurial success. Of course, if they can bend the law or if they can break the law as long as they will be successful, why not? Yun yung kanilang pag-iisip. Di sila takot. And morally questionable technologies, ethical challenges of introducing potentially harmful technologies. Example, mga missile, mga nuclear reactor, whatsoever. Yung mga yan, oo, maganda, may dudulot siya. Pero of course, merong mga downside yan. Lalo na kung, may mga downside yan, and malamang hindi na nila ibibigyan ng emphasis yon kasi gusto nilang kumita. Diba? Okay, another example, may mga vitamins. I will not I will not mention the brand, but I was being warned by my friend who is a nurse to abstain or to avoid this vitamin. Sikat na sikat siyang brand. Okay, so sabi niya, hindi siya safe kasi yung isang pasyente, nagkaroon siya ng heart disease and the patient was just in her 20s, nagpapalpitate, ganyan, or nagkaroon ng heart enlargement. And then when the doctor asked that person, the patient, kung ano yung iniinom niya, is itong vitamin na yun. So meron nga itong side effect. Pero hindi siya sinasabi or hindi siya binibigyan pansin or I mean hindi siya hindi siya pinagsasabi or hindi parang it's like a trade secret kumbaga na may side effect pala siyang gano'n. Okay, so because why not? Kasi nga gusto nilang kumita, right? Bakit sila magbibigay ng negative thing or magsasabi ng something negative effect ng kanilang vitamins? Eh di maaapektuhan yung kanilang sales, right? So yun. Okay, now defining entrepreneurial ethics versus morals. When you say ethics, ito yung dinidictate ng society. But when you say moral, ito yung individual values mo. Okay? So, ito yung paniniwala, ito yung upbringing mo, yun yung morals. Again, pag ethics, ito yung dinidikta ng society. Pero kapag morals, ito yung values mo bilang tao. Okay. Now, next one, dynamic ethical environment. Ethical standards are constantly evolving, requiring a process-based approach. So, dahil dito, of course, yung mga panahon noon na pinapaniwalaan, nagtra-transition na, right? So, nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa ethical standards because, of course, yung mga paniniwala noon ay nag-iiba na or nag-evolve or nagde-develop na rin nowadays. Most probably because may mga bagong findings or may mga bagong nalaman na magsasabi na hindi naman pala totoo yung ganitong paniniwala, right? So, it's evolving. It is constantly evolving. Okay? So, now we move on to laws versus ethics. Ethical behavior goes beyond simply following the law. Again, si ethical behavior, it's not only following the law. It is beyond the law because it is what the society dictates. Okay? For example, example ng ethics versus morals. Ako ay isang Pilipina, right? Tinuro sa atin dito sa Pilipinas na bawal ang euthanasia. Alam yung euthanasia, yung papatayin mo yung pasyente kasi hiniling niya. Ginusto naman ng pasyente kasi namamatay dahil ayaw na niyang mahirapan. Pero ang turo sa atin ng magiging Kristiyano ay wala tayong karapatan para kumitil ng buhay kahit na hiningin pa niya, right? So, dito sa Philippines, it is unethical to do. For example, in a medical practice, isa akong nurse or doktor, hiniling ng pasyente ko na ng tawag dito na gusto na niyang magkaroon ng euthanasia. So, hindi po pwede yun kasi it's ethically immoral dito sa Philippines. So, okay, hold on. Ayan. So, sorry about that. So, next one. So, for example, nag-abroad ako ngayon. No? Nag-abroad ako ngayon, tapos, yung pasyente ko, doktor ako doon, sa law nila, pwede ang euthanasia. Legal. So, doon napapasok. No? Para sa akin, for me, it's unethical sa aking medical practice na gawin yung ganon, no? Na, na, payagan ko siyang mag-euthanasia. But in their law, it is legal. Another thing, yung sa nursing student na nag-viral dahil blinag niya yung pagiging, a day in the life of a nursing student, tapos binidyo niya yung naghihikahos or namamatay na pasyente niya na nire-revive lang. That was against the medical or ethical practices of a medical professional. But then, it was not against the law. Wala namang law na nagsasabi na bawal kang mag-vlog during emergency cases or during na nag-duty ka, right? Hindi naman yon, wala naman tayong Philippine law na ganon. But it is unethical because it is you are a medical professional already, and it is against your ethical standards as a nurse or as a medical, as a medical practitioner. So that is why ethical behavior goes beyond simply following the law. Okay? Next one is the importance of ethical entrepreneurship. Building trust and reputation, of course, it's crucial. When you say mitigating risk and legal liability, when you say mitigate risk, you lessen the risk. Because if you do ethical practices, you do the things correctly, then the risk of legal liability would be lessened. Long-term sustainability is essential for sustainable business and ethical wealth creation. Of course, sustainability is a new form of ethical wealth creation. Why? Because you are helping not only yourself, not only the company, but also the environment and the society. So practical steps for ethical entrepreneurship, ethical framework, ethical training, and lead by example. So there you go. Practical steps. Okay. So first, you have to establish clear ethical guidelines and code of conduct for your company. Then you have to train your employees para alam nila, aware sila sa mga ethical standards ng inyong company. And of course, you as the boss, you have to lead by example. Baka naman nagpauso ka ng ethical framework tapos ikaw din pala ang hindi sumusunod. O, diba? Nag-train ka pa ng empleyado mo tapos ikaw din pala unethical ka. Hindi useless. So the future of ethical entrepreneurship is a win-win solution. Sustainable practices can be both profitable and beneficial. And ethical leadership crucial for fostering a culture of integrity in entrepreneurial ventures. So again, this is really very important for business students like you because you are the future business owners, right? You have to understand the importance of ethical leadership. Baka kasi mamaya, I do hope na graduate pa naman ng Lyceum, ganyan. Tapos, na-involve kayo sa scam, panluloko ng tao. Kasi nga, kikita kayo lang mabilis, huwag ganun. Right? It's really very important for you to understand what ethics means to us as a business person. Kaya nga very strong ang emphasis namin sa pagdidisiplina sa inyo sa classroom. Uniforms pa lang, your proper conduct in the classroom is very much monitored because doon pa lang doon nyo na kailangan matutunan yung mga simple rules or code of conduct na ini-implement ng CBE. Actually, meron tayong values na sa orientation yan na dapat kayong mga estudyante ay mait sa puso ninyo or ma-imbue sa inyo para pagka-graduate ninyo, talagang tumatak na sa inyo na talagang ganito ang values ng Lyceum. Okay? So, if you have questions, again, just comment in stream. Ayan.